Welcome back to my channel. My name is Bella and this is the Belle Perspective, and today I'm coming at you with a book review. So let's get into it. The book is called You Made a Fool Out of Death with Your Beauty. I'm gonna put it up on the screen here so that you can see. The author's name is Akwaeke, I think, Emezi, I think. Akwaeke Emezi. I apologize if I'm butchering your name. Their pronouns are they, them, theirs, and so I'll, obviously be addressing them as they, them, theirs. So their pronoun is they, and I think the last name is Emezi. I like it so much. They are Nigerian born and live in New Orleans right now. Another book that they have written is The Death of Vivek Oji, I believe, OJI. So an additional book is Vivek Oji. So this is their first venture into the romance genre. And I'm going to just be real with you. Actually, let me set up the premise. Let me set up the premise of the book before I can get into it. So the main character is Faye Adekola, I believe is how you pronounce the heroine's name. She goes by she, hers, and hers. Her, and hers. Parents were professors at Cambridge. She had been 5 years since she was in an accident, and her husband was killed. I believe it was a car accident. She was in the car with her husband. Her husband was killed. She moved from Cambridge, or New England, I believe is where she was, to New York. She is currently living with her best friend, Joy, who is a self-destructive, for lack of a better term, lesbian who is falling in love with married women, and it's just one bad relationship after the other with Joy. They are each other's support. She is an artist in New York. The book doesn't really talk a whole lot about her artistry. It touches here and there on it, but let me just get into. Okay, so she goes to a party. The book starts with her going to a party, meeting this guy named Milan. The way they describe him, he sounds fine as hell, right? Hella fine. She ends up going into the bathroom with this guy, and they end up having grown people activities, okay? She is unprotected. They are unprotected, and she also, in the book, encourages him to let things free, right? I'm trying to say it without unleash. She allowed him to unleash without any helmet on. Up in the box, okay? I'm trying to figure out a way to say it without saying it, inappropriately. So I immediately was like, clutching my imaginary pearls. And not that I'm a complete prude, but you just met this man, girl. You don't know him like that, right? Okay, so she meets Milan, and then they start to casually talk. They're not anything. The author has made it very clear that this character is emotionally unprepared to enter into any other kind of relationship because of the trauma that she's experienced with her husband dying 5 years prior. So then from Milan, she meets Nasir. Now, Nasir is Milan's good friend, and Milan actually introduces Nasir to Faye at some club, I think, or something, and she instantly is attracted to Nasir. Now, I, again, was like, girl, what we doing here? But I didn't want to judge, because I believe in sexual freedom. I believe that everyone should be able to be consensually and legally able to do whatever it is they want with their bodies, again, consensually and legally. But I still was just thrown. So she went from Milan to Nasir, And so she started seeing Nasir. They never had any physical relationship, but it was very apparent that Nasir wanted that. Nasir was attracted to her. The way she described him, she was very attracted to Nasir. It was a thing, you know. Okay. So Nasir, now they literally just met each other, probably within a few weeks. Nasir is from Tobago, I believe, in the book, and he invites her to go visit his family in Tobago. And he just met her, and they're not serious. I don't know anybody who would do that in real life, and so I'm just, again, I have questions. I have questions throughout this entire book. I have questions. Faye immediately falls for Nasir's father. And that's where I had to draw the line. That's where I had to draw the line. I'm like, sis, you went from the friend, the boy, to the friend's father? Yikes, what are we doing here? What are we doing here? So I just want to, let me just give you the things that I liked about the book before I inevitably tear it apart. Okay. I liked the cover of the book. I showed it to you. I have it here. I like the cover of the book. I like that the author, I love the description, the descriptive language that they use to describe Faye. Very beautiful. And I love the way that they described the blackness of each character. It wasn't the typical honey blonde, honey brown, coffee colored, like those descriptive languages, descriptive identifiers that typical writers typically use. No, this author, they used unique descriptors to describe blackness, and I appreciated that. I appreciated the way that this author has a very talented way of describing things, extremely descriptive, and it's unique. It is not cliche, and I'm talking about from a descriptive point of view, not from anything else, because there were a couple cliche things. There were a couple cliches within the book, and I'll get into that, but right now I'm just talking about the prose, the things that I liked about it. Talented as far as a descriptor, drawing you in as far as you can imagine it in your mind to the letter. They did very well. So I feel like ultimately at the end of the book, spoiler alert, sorry, the heroine ends up being with Nasir's dad. And it's kind of like this, accept us for who we are. This is the man that I love. Mind you, you just met him 5 minutes ago, right? And you hear on a trip from the dude who actually likes you, because he paid for your trip to come down to Tobago. And then the father is like this chef who's like freaking rich, and you just so happen to fall in love with the rich father. Anyway, so the author, I just felt like the author took us around town, down the street, and up the road, just to bring us back around, and we're dizzy. I felt like I was on a malfunctioning carousel. What are we doing again? I'm confused, and I think I need to vomit. It made me, it was just the whole, I just didn't like it. Again, the writing is full of romantic cliches. Dialogue was cringeworthy. The dialogue was absolutely cringeworthy. Now, again, the way that they described the characters, the vocabulary that they used outside of the dialogue was wonderful, like beautiful. However, the dialogue between the characters, extremely cringy. I would never speak this way to my friend. And like, you know how, I'm trying to think. Okay, and forgive me, white people. Forgive me, white people. I'm not trying to be funny. I promise. But it's like, you know how, let me not pick on the white people. Let me pick on the generations before us, generations before. So you know how you have a word that you use, right? And it was cool when you and your friends used it, but then when the generation before you starts using it, it's like, don't use that. Don't do that. That's not how. And then they use it out of context or overuse it or add additional things to it that didn't need. Like, it just didn't flow well. That's how the dialogue was. It was very much language that did not belong. Or it was forced language. And I cringed. It was so cringeworthy. And by the end of the book, the author turns Nasir, who is the middle guy. I'll say man number 2, right? So man number 1 is Milan, who the heroine sleeps with in the bathroom at a party. Nasir is Milan's friend, who she met at a bar through Milan. So that's man number 2. And Aslim is how you pronounce his name. Aslim is Nasir's father, who she met through Nasir when he took her to Tobago to meet his family. Craziness. So Nasir, by the end of the book, the author turns Nasir into this like raging lunatic monster who is upset for no reason and doesn't understand the love between Faye and Aslim. But ma'am, you're sleeping with his father and he actually liked you. The way Nasir was described before she started sleeping with his dad was that he was so gentle and caring and taking things slowly and understood her or was trying to understand her and really took the time to care about her in a friendly way before any, romance was introduced into the relationship. And so it just seemed off brand. Yeah. I just felt like the relationship, sorry, I'm reading my notes. The relationships were forced. Even her relationship with the father just was weird. I didn't like that. And this is what I really want to talk about. I felt both a moral and social conflict internally. So from a moral perspective, I was like, author, we're not about to do this and make it seem like it's right. Like, I'm looking like, you sleep with my daddy, I'm mad. I'm upset with you. I like you and you sleep with my mama and I like you. It's a problem. It's a problem on site, right? But I felt like the author was trying to make it okay. And so the moral conflict that I was experiencing was, this is not right. This is not okay. But then there was a social conflict. So there was like this dichotomy between the moral and the social. So the social side was sexual liberation, sexual freedom. Don't judge someone. Allow them to do whatever they want to do consensually, consensually and legally, right? All of the things. So I felt the social pressures of wanting to make sure that I wasn't judging someone or calling them, sexually promiscuous and using it as a weapon to insult them or degrade. And so that was going on in my mind as well, right? So it was the dichotomy between the social and the moral. But honestly, I'm going to say morality wins in this one. You sleep with my mama and I like you, we got a problem. Houston, there's a problem. Okay. And I just felt like the author was really trying to sell this romance and I wasn't buying. Like, sis, I'm not buying. I'm not buying. Yeah, I'm side-eyeing anyone who's sleeping with their crush's parents. Okay, I'm side-eyeing you. And you're not going to get me to believe any other way. And I'm not going to root for this romance. I'm not going to root for this relationship. For what? I can't. So, yeah. Anyway, they were really trying to get us to buy this budding romance. And I don't even know if I can say it was a romance. It was anticlimactic. It was no substance in the book. It took 200 pages to tell us that you were just to be with his daddy. I didn't. I hated it for us. I just hated it. I really did. So again, pros, love the art. The art is beautiful. Sex scenes were phenomenal. Very steamy. Loved it. Descriptive, and it wasn't it wasn't inappropriate or nasty or anything like that. It was just it was great the way that they wrote it. Cons, I pretty much talked about all my cons in this video. You know, this person, they have gotten a lot of accolades and acclaim for their other work. I think that they've done some, again, the death of Akwaeke Emezi, that I haven't read that. That may be something that I may try maybe next year. I'm probably gonna take a break on their work for now because I'm not impressed with this. But you know, maybe there might be some work that I may come across that I may actually like or may actually enjoy. But I am going to rate this book a 1.5 out of 5. And yeah, I have to be honest about it. The title and the cover of the book actually is the only reason why that they got it. Let me know what you think. Tell me what you think down in the comments. Am I wrong? Am I reaching? Did you feel any type of internal conflict? Did you feel like it was beautifully written? What are your thoughts? Get down in the comments. Let me know what you think. I try to be as open-minded as I can about different books when I'm reading them. But this one, I'm not gonna lie to you, it was really, really hard. It was really hard. It was anyway, so if you made it this long into the video, you might as well go ahead and like the video. You might as well like it, might as well comment, might as well get down and let me know what you think. And also, go ahead and subscribe. My name is Belle. This is the Belle Perspective, and I will be coming at you again with another book review pretty soon. Right now, I am reading Deacon King Kong. So that's the next book that is coming down the pike, and I also am working with another fellow bibliophile who we're creating a book club or relaunching a book club. So I will give you guys the details of that pretty soon. Hopefully y'all can virtually join, read with us, join on a virtual call with us, talk about the book, and we can go back and forth. So anyway, again, my name is Belle. This is the Belle Perspective. I appreciate you watching. Again, if you've watched all the way down, all the way to this point, you might as well like, comment, share, and subscribe. And I will catch you guys in the next one.